Let's meet at the library. Okay.
Hi everyone, it's Julia and welcome back to my channel. Today, apologies in advance, it's beautiful outside, which means everyone is doing yard work. So if you hear like leaf blowers and lawnmowers, that's out of my control. Okay, sorry. Today we are here to do my April wrap up and also talk about how I did with the owls. Spoiler alert, I passed, so take that. Past me who failed her newts. You are capable. So yeah, let's dive in because there are a lot of books to talk about this month. My bad. So I didn't rate anything lower than 3 stars in April, which is amazing. But also, we need to talk about this first book before I actually talk about this first book because something happened. Like, I don't know if I was just angry at the ending when I rated it or what, but I have not stopped talking about this book since I've read it / watched the movie, so clearly I liked it a lot more than I thought I did in that moment. But at 3 stars, we have Anna Karenina, so I need to definitely look into my rating breakdown and see what went wrong. Because something did. This is not a 3-star book. This is probably closer to a 4-star book. But what happened was the ending. I'm not mad about like the ending thing that happens if you're familiar with Anna Karenina, but I'm mad that the last part of like there's like 7 or 8 parts to the book, and the big thing happens at the end of the second to last part, and then the last part like totally focuses on different people. And I'm like, no, I want to address the thing that just happened, and like no one addresses it. So I was angry. So I think that's why my rating was on the lower side. But Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Can you believe I read this book? It's like 900 something pages. This is a classic for a reason. Like, Tolstoy's writing is just so great. Like, I was jotting down quote after quote after quote, and I really liked, like, I was just so interested in the characters. Dolly was my favorite character, and no one will be surprised when I say that. I wish we had more of Dolly, but like that scene of her contemplating her life in the carriage is just so good. And the movie with Keira Knightley, literally, like, I watched it once and I was like, well, I guess this joins the rank of my favorite movies of all time. Like, okay then. I love that we're matching also. Cute. Love that for us. So yeah, I'm talking about this book first, but this is not my least favorite book of the month. Much to think about. Onwards. Next up, we have a couple of graphic novels that both got the same rating from me. Should I talk about them collectively? Why not? I gave them both 3.3 stars, and it's Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Volume 2, and Fables Volume 2. These were both just like, yeah, okay, we're continuing on. I don't know how I feel about The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. It was not on my TBR. If you watched that, I read it because I needed to read something involving witches to pass my owls, and so I literally read it the last night, just in the nick of time. But I don't think I'll be continuing it. What I really want to read is more of Afterlife with Archie, but I don't know, there was like a whole thing with Volume 2. I don't even know if it's out yet. But I'm kind of over that. I think I'll watch the show, but I really don't want to continue reading The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, so there's that. Talking is great right now. And as for Fables Volume 2, it was fine. The premise of it being based more on like the animal fairy tales was just inherently something that I would enjoy less, so I wasn't really surprised that I wasn't like gung-ho about it. But it set up some very interesting things for Volume 3, so I'm not mad at it. It was just okay. And of course, it needed more snow and Big B. Had a little bit, needed more. But it also kind of got Rose Red out of our main plot line, and like, good, I was over her. So, okay. And just a little bit higher up on the rating scale, barely, we have Not That I Could Tell by Jessica Strasser. I gave this 3.4 stars. Wow. This is fine. I mean, I salute, I don't know if I can say it or if it's a spoiler. There's something that I salute about this book, but overall it's not a very thrilling thriller. I would call it more of like a domestic drama than even a domestic thriller. I don't know. But it was fine. I don't know. I guess I just, is the plot twist really a plot twist? I don't know. This didn't do much for me. Let's just say that. It's about a woman and her children who go missing, but her ex-husband is like still around. Like he just shows up in the in their old house and is like, well, I'll just move in while they're gone, and everyone's like, okay, that's sketchy. And it is. So that was a book. Did I tell you anything useful? Not really. Continuing to inch our way up the scale, we have Know the Mother by Desiree Cooper. This I gave 3.5 stars, so exactly 3.5. This is a short story collection that lied to me, okay? It says Know the Mother. Author Desiree Cooper explores the complex archetype of the mother in all her incarnations. Half these stories were not about mothers. All of these stories had a mother in them or mentioned a mother, but they were not all about mothers. So I felt a little bit betrayed, a little bit misled, and I think that left me salty. There were a couple in here that I really like. Will I know them offhand? Probably not, but I do think I listed them all in my Goodreads review. Yeah, the longer ones I actually tended to prefer, but it was just okay. I wanted to love it. I'm sorry. Oh my god, my rating scale is so annoying. Okay, at 3.6 stars, we have Kids Grown Up by Sophie Jo. This is a tiny little baby book of poetry that's all inspired by Disney, so it's cute. I'm not a huge poetry person, as many of you probably know by now, but you know, because it was about Disney, it like had that nostalgia factor, so I was like, okay, I see what you did there. So it was okay. Just like with Know the Mother, there were ones that I liked and then ones that I didn't like as much. The ones that I liked tended to have a rhyme scheme and like a rhythm to them, because that's the kind of poetry I prefer. If you're doing free verse, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, it just makes me feel confused. So, okay, great. Also, with 3.6 stars, we have Alexander's Bridge by Willa Cather. I looked up how to say it, now I've forgotten. So this is a short story, a little novella about a man named, what's his first name is not Alexander, that's his last name. Bartley Alexander, that's what it is. And Bartley Alexander is a engineer who builds bridges, but he's also having an affair. And so this book kind of just makes a nice metaphor about extramarital affairs and bridges. And that's kind of what the book is, but that's okay. Like, I don't hate it. It just didn't really like stand out for me. I don't know what to say about it. It was kind of forgettable, honestly. I think if someone like made this into a movie and expanded on it, it could be kind of cool, because there were parts with like his wife and his mistress that I both liked, but I didn't care too much about Alexander himself. Like, Bartley didn't really thrill me, and anyone who's like that indecisive, like, well, I want to be with you, well, I want to be with you, I'm like, oh my god, just choose. Like, I don't know. I don't like that wishy-washiness. So that's Alexander's Bridge. Am I making any sense in this wrap-up? Who's to say? Next up, we have Cinnamon and Gunpowder. I gave this 4 stars on the nose, by Eli Brown. So Cinnamon and Gunpowder is a book about a female pirate, but it's not about the female pirate. It is about the chef who gets kidnapped by the female pirate. So if it had been from her point of view, would I have liked it better? Honestly, probably. But it wasn't that bad. I liked that because it was from the chef's point of view, we had him like seeing things in a different way, and you know, like being like, oh, you're looting all this stuff, and then being like, oh, but you're against slavery and you're against the opium trade because that is terrible for people. Not like the drug itself, even though yes, the drug itself, but like the whole trade business and exploiting people. So honestly, that was a fun journey. I liked the romance. It was a little too much of a slow burn, even for me, and I like a slow burn. And there was a fun tidbit in here that's just something that's my cup of tea. Mabbit, that's her name. Mad Hannah Mabbit. I was trying to look at the chef's name. Owen Wedgwood, that's what it was. But anyways, this was like pretty fun. If you like a pirate story, you could probably get into this. It's not something I think I personally would reread or that I feel the need to hold on to, but I was enjoying the journey when I was on it. It's another one that I think would make a nice movie. Someone get on that. Next up, we have Heretics Anonymous, which I gave 4.2 stars. This one was so cute. It's a contemporary about a boy who is, does he say he's agnostic or an atheist, whatever, but he goes to a Catholic school and he falls for this girl who wants to be the first female priest, and it's just cute. There's like a group of friends who everyone is like a heretic in their own way, and the romance was really sweet. I liked the friend group. It was just a very cute time overall. Very darling. And I believe I shed some tears at the end. Like thinking back on it, I'm like, I think I definitely cried. So that's always a good sign that I enjoyed it, right? Then at 4.3 stars, we have There's an Ant on My Ceiling. Girl with No Name. This is a like single issue of a comic that I guess actually came to be because of a Kickstarter. I saw it on an Instagram ad and I was like, female-led Western, I must buy it. Another one that I matched. Cute! But yeah, it's a female-led Western comic. And look at the back. Love that. So it's about a girl who's disguised as a boy shooting people in the Wild West. I don't know what to, like, you can't, I don't want to spoil anything. It's, you know, it's very short. But I hope they continue this, because I would definitely continue to read Girl with No Name, should they publish more, so we'll see. At 4.4 stars, we have Richard III by William Shakespeare. Okay, this one was a trip. As you can see, I had a lot of thoughts while reading this. Wait, there's so many tabs in this and I didn't even realize how many. Okay, let me refresh my memory on what my themes were. Okay, yeah, so I continued a lot of the themes from the Henry VI part 1, 2, and 3 that I read. But then I also was tabbing like Richard's, like mentions of Richard's appearance and like comparing his deformities to like evil and the devil and what have you. So Richard III is still a part of the whole like War of the Roses histories by Shakespeare. That wasn't a sentence, but just roll with it. And this was pretty spicy. I really loved that just every single scene that had a female character in it was just that girl ripping Richard a new one. Like, they just, oh my god, they completely eviscerated this man. Oh, I think it's the second scene in the whole play, actually. There's a scene where he meets up with the widow of a man who he killed, right? And the whole time he's just hitting on her and being like, you know, your husband's dead. You should marry me. And she's like, listen, she's not having it. Like, can I even tell you some of my favorite moments? Because it's so good. Like, wait, I gotta find. So he's like talking about, he says something about like how beautiful she is. And she says, these nails should rend that beauty from my cheeks. Like, she's willing to scratch up her face just so this man doesn't think she's beautiful anymore. Love that. She literally spits at him. Also love that. She almost kills him, which could have been iconic, but that's okay. I'm trying to find my favorite part in this scene. Did I not underline it? Okay, yeah. So she's talking about like her husband and that he, like, how like heaven is the place for him because he was just an angel in life. And Richard's like, well, then you should thank me because obviously like that's the place that he should be. And Anne says, and thou unfit for any place but hell. And he goes, yes, one place else, if you will hear me name it, some dungeon, your bedchamber. Like, so bold to just get shot down by this woman again and again. And yet he actually does get her to marry him, which, yeah, okay, Shakespeare, sure. I've spent too long talking about this one. We're moving on. 3 more and then we're done. So at 4.6 stars, I have Treating People Well. This is a nonfiction book written by 2 former White House social secretaries. Nailed it. And I like that even though they were from very different administrations with very different policies and views on politics, that they worked together to make this book, and it was just like a nice reminder. I think the thing I love about self-help books is that like it's stuff you know, but when you hear it broken down, you're like, yes, yeah, I should be doing that, or yeah, that is a tool in my arsenal. Like, it's just nice. And I think the message is good. Treat people well. Like, a badoy. At 4.6 stars, we have Miranda in Milan by Catherine Duckett. This was so cute. I read this to join in with the Shakespeare book club, and I enjoyed this. I believe I read this in a day. Like, I flew through it. But Miranda in Milan is a retelling of The Tempest, and it centers around Prospero's daughter, Miranda, and it is just like really cool and cute. It involves them like coming back from the island. It's technically like a sequel in a sense, and Miranda's trying to figure out like her past, things about her mother, things about her father, just a lot of mysterious stuff, and it's good, and the romance is really cute, and yeah, just a lot to love in this one. And finally, at 5 stars, we have Red, White, and Royal Blue. I couldn't tell if it was just like being in isolation and like not being able to like go out and drink with your friends or just like have a romantic interaction, but like every scene in this book I was like, I want that, I want that, I want that. I just wanted to live out every single scene in this book. It was so cute. I laughed, I cried, I literally cried. If I'm feeling bold enough, I'll include a video clip of how one scene in this book really made me feel. This lived up to the hype for me, and I'm so glad, and I love every single character to death. Oh, I didn't say what this is about. I assumed everyone knew. It's about the son of the President of the United States, who's a female president. Yeah. And the crown prince, or not really the crown prince, one of the princes in the British royal family, and it's enemies to lovers. And it's great. And I love it. And there's so many, when can I reread this book? Like, how soon can I reread this and get the same amount of enjoyment, you know? I love it. Okay. So there we have it. Those were the 14, I didn't really count them, books that I read in April. I did pass my owls, so I'm now what was the actual title of my career? Like working with care of magical children. I'm now a carer of magical children. And what a great reading month. Like, there were some real gems in there. I don't know what happened with my rating of Anna Karenina. I'm still stressed thinking about that. Just imagine it way up higher in the rankings. Let me know down in the comments how you did with your owls, if you participated, or if you'll be joining in the newts, which will be like in August, right? I think they're usually in August. Be sure to like and subscribe and check out my social media in the description box, and you'll see more from me soon. Bye!